moment went viral. People swore they could pinpoint the exact second the balance of power flipped. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was the way a black woman blinked once slowly as if filing the insult away like evidence. And by sunrise, an entire financial empire would beg for mercy. Welcome to Melanin Chronicles, where we unravel the stories they hoped the world would forget. Stories of racism, resilience, and the quiet power of dignity. The skyscraper known as Hawthorne Pinnacle glimmered above Manhattan like a shard of polished steel. Inside its 50th floor conference suite, a merger valued at $2.4 billion sat on the table, a deal that could reshape the financial map of the East Coast. 14 executives sat stiffly around a glass table longer than a limousine. Charts glowed, screens hummed, every breath felt expensive. At one end sat Evelyn Pierce, the board chairwoman of Hawthorne Equity. Her reputation was carved in ice, her smile colder. At the other end sat Dr. Lena Carter, CEO of Carter Global Investments, a black woman whose serenity unnerved entire boardrooms. She had built her firm brick by brick, number by number, from a South Atlanta apartment to one of the most respected funds in the country. Today was supposed to be the final signing. The live investor stream was rolling. Thousands watched behind their screens. The world was expecting a handshake. Instead, they got a moment that would break the internet. When Lena stood and extended her hand, her movements were warm, professional, steady, the sort of gesture that built bridges in a world made of glass. Evelyn stared at the hand. Then she leaned back, smirked, and said the words slowly, letting them drip. "We don't shake hands with people from your background." Silence thickened like fog. Someone coughed. Someone else chuckled under their breath. A young analyst swallowed hard, eyes darting toward the camera streaming the meeting live. The world heard it. The internet clipped it. And inside the boardroom, 14 people pretended not to watch Lena's reaction. But Lena didn't flinch. She simply lowered her hand, her face unreadable, the kind of calm that should make powerful people nervous. "Understood," she said softly. Evelyn smirked wider, thinking she'd won something. What she didn't understand was that Lena Carter about to show her what real power looked like. As the discussion resumed, Evelyn's tone sharpened, like she was slicing through Lena's presence with every sentence. She interrupted Lena mid-analysis. She mocked her valuation projections. She called one of Lena's strategies ambitious for someone with limited industry exposure. The men at the table laughed. The live chat on the investor stream exploded. But Lena, she didn't challenge. She didn't raise her voice. She simply watched, took notes, and cataloged every microaggression with surgical precision. Because power, true power, isn't loud. It prepares. Before I reveal what Lena did next, drop a comment below and tell us. Have you ever stayed calm just long enough to show someone exactly who they were? And make sure you subscribe to Melanin Chronicles so you never miss stories that expose arrogance and celebrate Black excellence. Now back to the collapse that no one saw coming. At 3:29 p.m., during a short recess, Lena stepped into the hallway. No frustration, no trembling voice, just a woman making a decision. She dialed one number. "Activate Protocol Indigo," she said. Effective immediately. No explanation. No hesitation. Then she walked back inside. The meeting picked up again. Evelyn didn't even look at her. "So, Dr. Carter," she said with a sugary sneer, "do you finally understand the level of professionalism required at this table?" Lena smiled, the kind of calm smile that should have been her warning. "We're about to find out," Lena replied. And then it happened. One phone buzzed, then another. Then every single device around the table lit up red. Executives stiffened, faces drained of color. The CFO gasped softly. "Madam Chair," he whispered, "our major liquidity source? It's gone." "What do you mean, gone?" Evelyn snapped. "Carter Global has withdrawn the full $2.4 billion. The room erupted like shaken soda. Shouts, scrambling hands. Notifications are pouring in. News alerts firing across screens. Lena just sat quietly, watching the empire unravel itself. Evelyn turned to her, eyes wide. "You can't do that." "Oh," Lena said gently, "I already did." She slid a folder across the table. Protocol Indigo, signed by your legal team 3 months ago. It authorizes immediate withdrawal if any form of discriminatory misconduct occurs during negotiations. Her eyes lifted toward the corner camera, still blinking red. And since this meeting is publicly streamed, your own words documented everything. The entire room froze. Evelyn's jaw tightened. You're going to ruin us. No, Lena replied calmly. You spoke. I responded. This is simply accountability. Phones rang off the hook. Markets trembled. Hawthorne Equity's stock ticker dipped, then plunged, then fell like a stone. Financial news sites blasted the headline within minutes. Historic 2.4B withdrawal shakes Hawthorne Equity. Live-streamed insult triggers crisis. Investors fled. Partnerships trembled. Board members whispered desperately. Evelyn grabbed the edge of the table, knuckles pale. We can fix this. We can renegotiate. There's nothing to renegotiate, Lena said, standing. This isn't a disagreement. It's a lesson. One of the male executives finally spoke, eyes lowered. With respect, Evelyn, she didn't bring this on us. You did. The truth hit the room harder than any headline. Lena gathered her folder. For future reference, she said gently, respect costs nothing. Recovering from disrespect? That's the expensive part. Then she walked toward the door. She paused beside Evelyn, not out of anger, but out of clarity. You thought power meant control, she whispered. But real power is the freedom to walk away and let the truth speak for itself. The camera caught Lena's reflection in the glass as she left, calm, unbothered, deeply dignified. Behind her, an empire shook. By midnight, Hawthorne Equity's valuation had dropped 41%. By morning, Evelyn's face was all over the news. And in boardrooms and offices across the country, Black women replayed the moment she refused to break. They called it the Handshake Fallout, but history called it something else. A reminder that silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is a strategy. Sometimes silence is power. In a world where arrogance walks loud and dignity walks quietly, never underestimate the calm woman in the room. She's not ignoring the storm. She is the storm. If this story moved you, if it reminded you of your worth, if you believe that respect is non-negotiable, drop a comment and tell us what moment hit you hardest. And don't forget to subscribe to Melanin Chronicles, where we tell the stories others bury and where Black resilience is never just a footnote. Your voice matters, your story matters, and so does your dignity.